Mentoring is a long-term, fluid relationship that focuses on the internal values and core of a person. And that's what you had. What makes a person willing to enter that relationship? Because it's constructive, but it's also refining.
Sure it is. I think one of the things is you have needs, and you see in the other person the ability to help you meet those needs. I was lonely. I was away from my bride, your mother, in years to come when we began to have our children. But back then she was almost like a newlywed with me, and there's loneliness with that. There's 8,000 miles difference between us, and I never heard her voice during those months I was away. But I had my friend who understood it. He had been in the Navy. He understood distance from home and all, and he had answers for my questions. He never tried to be the answer man. There's a difference.
Yes.
Yeah. He was a good listener. He had a great sense of humor. We would do things together, and there was harmony in our doing them. And I realized later he had a purpose in it that I didn't see on the front end, that worked its way out into the development of some character traits that I needed to develop in my own life. It was marvelous. I just don't have another word for it. It changed my life. Some of the insights I have now, I gleaned from those months that I had with him. Many of the techniques that I use in the study of the Scriptures, I first picked up from him, and then I perfected during my 4 years at a seminary. But those foundational tools you learn from another person, like a mentor, they go with you. You know, his notes fill the margin of my Bible. You know, it says in the Scriptures that Jesus chose 12 that they might be with him and that he might send him forth to preach. Mark 3:14. That they might be with him. There it is. He was with them. You forget, they slept alongside him. They ate with him. They listened to him. They watched him when he performed miracles, healing different people. They saw him under the gun as criticism came and the Pharisees landed on him. They watched him as he kept his cool when being assaulted verbally by others. You learn from that. And when you're the recipient of that, you drink that in. That's what you would see if you could watch my two grandsons and me together when we meet on Saturday mornings. Sometimes they're just writing as fast as they can write. Other times they're sitting still and pondering, listening. They're hearing what I'm sharing, and they're thinking about their lives, I'm sure. And sometimes they'll bring that up, and there's no subject that's off limits because everything is confidential. And there is no issue that's out of bounds, no struggle that I say, no, we're not going to worry about that. Oh, we worry about that. I call it what it is. I may say, I struggle with that too. You do? Yeah. So there's vulnerability. That's a big part of it. We're coming up on a chapter in the David book where it's titled, Being Big Enough to Forgive. It's a big part of what David needed to learn, and he learned it well. One of my questions is going to be to both Parker and Austin, who do you need to forgive? I would even probably go further and say, why haven't you already? So we talk about what holds us back from forgiving.
Were you afraid of those kind of questions?
Probably at first. I'd never been around anyone that could drill in so deeply and comfortably. So I think I learned not to be afraid because they were never threatening type questions or judgmental type questions.
It produced in you qualities that you wanted to develop.
Yeah, and you know what else? He loved me.
Yeah.
And I love him. He's gone now, so I have to remember it's in the past tense. But we loved each other. When you love, you talk truth. And nothing frees you like truth.